Wassail, beautiful people. I've got a wonky moustache. I'm having a sip of water before I came on. So, how is everybody? I say everybody. There's one person. Hello, one person. I don't know who you are. Maybe it's Wassail, Wild Wolf Woman. How are you? There's two of us. Wassail, Susie Cheers. Wassail, Karina Bush. Wassail, April York. So how's everyone doing? Wassail, Jade. Grazules, Wassail, Albib. It might be Albib, but I don't know these things. Wassail and engage. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed sound healing. I had a bit, well, I was going to say, I had a bit of a break. I had a bit of a break from posting, but I've been doing all this endless research and work, and I'm still trying to write all the words that need to be on the other card. So I've been a bit manic. Also, teeth didn't arrive. Well, they did. I went back for the second meeting about my teeth, and she didn't give me what I wanted, which was 2 pieces. She had a whole plate, and I'm like, I can't wear that. So I don't know what's happening there yet. So who else have we got? I'm going to sneeze in a minute. Wassail. Oh, should have put my hand over my mouth, but there's no one else in here. So, Wassail needs a team. Wassail Bright Star 33. Wassail Peaches Angel. Wassail Catherine. I gotta say this surname. I can't read it properly. Barbaro. I hope that's right. Wassail Corinna Boosh. I said that already, I think. So I remember singing Boosh. So I've got some fun in store for us today. You might need a notebook and pen. I can't say for sure. But I'll show you what we're doing. We're having a little look at the Grand Tableau. So this is a Lenormand spread. You don't need Lenormand cards because we're actually going to do it with the Thoth deck. And we're going to use it to learn a little bit about how Lenormand works with all its houses. Wassail, Eve. What have we got down there? Wassail, Eric D131. In Vedic astrology, yes, I am. I'm Virgo. But it also means that a lot of my really big, important planets get shifted into Leo, and that makes me powerful. In fact, when I'm in Vedic, my astrology is a lot more miraculous in many ways because I have Venus in rulership in Libra, and a lot of my other planets are all a much better placement in Vedic. So I'm going all Vedic at the moment. Mama Jama Wassail. Thank you, Eric. Wassail, Kathy Twitty. Kathy, I haven't watched your new channel yet, but I will be doing that later today. Wassail, Margaret Hughes. Wassail, Kizzy Cat. Kizzy Cat. Kizzy Cat. So we're going to do. I've been being bugged to do a couple of things. One, which I can't get my head around at the moment. I've been told to learn. I've been told I have to read somehow, and I haven't worked it out yet. A Celtic cross backwards and the starting point of the end is where you finished your last incarnation or something. I haven't worked that out yet though, but that's what I've been told. And then the other thing is this grand tableau, which if you follow me on Instagram, I sort of solved the puzzle, not the solution, but solved the puzzle or cracked the puzzle when I was at the beach the other day, sitting in an empty restaurant. I just needed to be near the sea because that's also good for me, as you know. And so I'm going to give this a go, and we're going to see how it works. The only difficulty is I've had to lay it all out upside down so that you can see it. So here it is again, so you can all have a look, and I'll bend my head down and try and read what you're saying. Wassail, Pamela Anderson, or Alexander. You see, Wassail, Pamela, Alexander. I can't see any of the comments at that angle. Too difficult. They're not showing up properly. So what we're going to do, Wassail, I can't remember what that one is. It's too many letters squashed together. Medlig, Skujo. So I hope you're not here to be awkward because you've already had your message deleted by my wonderful Eve. But if you've popped in to sell crypto coins or any other rubbish, piss off. So we are here. It was a bot link. Not even while I'm talking to you. Bye, bot. I'm doing something that you were going to ask me about. Wassail, Amity of Avalon Acres. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of Lenormand. Oh, look, I can give you a little bit. I'm even a bit, I'm not on edge about this, but it's complicated. So just going to pop you in a little link. This is, I'm going to give you two. One is a link to all the Lenormand houses, and the other is a link to the Grand Tableau on my website. So we're going to be learning a new way of reading Lenormand with tarot. So what is Lenormand? Madame Lenormand was a famous 18th century fortune teller psychic, and she worked for all the royalty and all the bigwigs all over Europe. She didn't actually use these cards. The cards were invented by a German guy as a kind of game, but they used the symbolism of reading coffee grinds or tea leaves. Madame Lenormand read coffee grounds. So, Wassail, Scottish lad, Wassail, Rachel Parks, and Wassail, Holly Kunst. And so she read coffee grinds for all the wealthy of that period. And when she died, she had a fortune of 500,000 francs. And her son took the money and burnt all of her personal papers so that we wouldn't know what a clever witch she was. So we have the Lenormand cards. There's 36 of them. And in a grand tableau, let me show you the grand tableau again. This is in its actual order. So this is house 1, 2, 3, and card 1, 2, 3, down to 36. But what we're going to do is we're going to lay a series of tarot over the top. We're going to do a general reading about the moon. And then I'm going to shout out a whole series of cards, and you get to pick which one you think you want to follow the story of, and it'll give you an idea of what's coming with this moon. So I feel like with these two arches, I feel like I'm in a little Persian fantasy. So let's get some shuffling done, because this is going to be quite long, I fear. But I've got water. Oh, let's have some Neptune's bells as well before the shuffle. You forgot you were a wench wrench. That's all right. You don't have to do it. I don't mind. I like to have moderators, but I'll stop anything mid-flow and deal with any bots or trouble. So, and then anyone you want to just, censure for any reason, I don't care. Do what you want. Don't feel that I'm going to be annoyed with you if you block somebody or anything. Just do whatever you want, because I trust that you'll be doing what needs to be done. So thank you very much. Moderators, Wassail Denise Digest, Wassail Navisha Persed. Anyone else I've missed? Wassail Kala la 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 Clayton. So, bells. They were gorgeous. That's all I can say. They were just really serenely tidy. Wassail Zoe sans frontières, or Wassail Zoe without borders. Wassail Paris. Wassail Divine Virgo Empress. So I'm going to do them bells again because I like them. And they were beautiful again. In fact, the second one was really, really rich and beautiful. So we're all going to be doing some work today, because I might shout out for some astrological facts, because I've tried remembering them and my brain's not wanting to do that today. So I was just like, there's too much with the actual Lenormand that I need to keep at the front of my lobes. So we'll just see what Wassail Amy Schooner. We'll just bash on through and see what we get. So I'm not, I am. I wasn't going to show you where I'm putting the cards, but I think I will. But I'll do that in a minute. Let's shuffle first. Let's give him another rifle one day. Chacamo filo, I'm on the way. Ooh, look at that lovely split. The Lovers and the Magician. 1st of June might have a significance. Wassail Julie Domouchel. Wassail Julie Domouchel. Domouchel, peut-être. Oh, look, that's interesting. Just as one lone falling card, the Ace of Swords. I'm getting this energy a lot. We are now moving into a frequency of truth. I just want to say, don't tell any fibs, because fibs will get you in trouble. This is about moving into a frequency, and maybe the moon's the point, because once we've done this ending, this full moon in Cancer, the next new moon is Chinese New Year. And it's a big shift to Water Tiger. And yeah, I will do an animal reading sign for each of those. So, Is Fibonacci here? Wassail Fibonacci. Yeah, look, another card that's really interesting. Coming into yourself. Wassail Sigdom Levant, Wassail Soul Food Magic. Wassail sha la 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 sha la 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 radio. Wassail Goddess of the Garden. Get the 10th of May as well as an ending of strife frequency. Oh, Fibs. Well, I've said hello to Fibonacci anyway. Maybe we'll call Fibonacci in. Test the trap code. Freedom. So I've decided that's enough. We're going to put them down. So I'm going to bring you down and you can watch what comes. Queen of Discs. Ooh, 5 of Swords. Magician. Lovers, they come out together. 8 of Pentacles. 7 of Cups. 7 of Swords. Prince of Discs, which is the Knight. 7 of Rods. 2 of Cups. 6 of Swords. Oh, Ace of Swords has returned. And this one, the 5 of Wands. Oh, and that's come together. And I put them back in separate places. This is crazy energy, people. Prince of Wands. 3 of Cups. The Tower. Princess of Cups, which is the Knave. 3 of Wands. Oh, when I did this reading earlier, the 3 of Wands was there when I was just testing it out. Ooh, Mary the Jewess. Princess of Swords. That one was also there when I tested this reading out. The Hermit. The Sun. Oh, that's interesting. Empress. Knight of Discs. That one was there last. 9 of Wands. Ooh, now that's interesting. 9 of Cups. Death. Hanged Man. 8 of Swords. Queen of Wands. 4 of Cups. Adjustment, so Justice. Oh, look at that. 10 of Cups. So that's our layout. Let's have a look at what you're up to. Wassail el Sensano. Wassail AP Dern. I always call you Ap Dern. I like it. Wassail Lin Medicine. I like that. It's a nice little bit of poetry. Wassail Petra the Spark. So we're gonna now, I'm gonna give you, I'm just gonna write them down as well, because I'm gonna have to, when we get into that bit where you get to pick a court card or a major arcana card, things of relevance. So we've got the Queen of Discs. Is going to be one of them. Queen of Discs. Magician. Lovers. Prince of Discs. Prince of Wands. We'll go over these in a minute. I'm just writing them down. We've got Princess of Cups. We've got Mary the Jewess, which is Temperance. We've got the Princess of Swords, which is Ninlil. We've got the Hierophant. It's a lot. It's a lot. Wassail a min. Hierophant Hermit. Empress. Knight or King of Discs. The Hanged Man. Queen of Wands. I might not do the Hangman. I'm being told that one might not be necessary, but we'll see. Oh, thanks, Eve. Yeah, that's the Grand Tableau. That shows you how you would read it traditionally with Lenormand cards. What I'm doing with it today is I'm showing you how, well, we're going to read it with tarot cards. But what happens is you get a tarot card over a Lenormand house because the placement is relevant to an energy. So you get a combined frequency and then the cards line up and match and poke and sort of look in certain directions. So we're going to learn how to do it. There's also another site, which is a list of all of the actual houses and what they all mean. That's this one. So that's the one that's the other tarot. You want a bowl of dates and a monkey for some reason. Well, the dates I've got downstairs in the fridge, and there's a lovely little monkey, and I'm Year of the Monkey. So I've also got a monkey up here on my tattoo. So I'm going to zoom you in so that you can have a look. Oh, I can use my magical deer pointer. My lovely host here. Oh, where's it gone? It was there. There it is. He saw a deer horn fall off a deer and he picked it up and he's had it for about 30 years and he gave it to me as a gift on my birthday. Here, 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 and here, which is the center of the spread. 4 cards. So we're looking at 6 of Swords. And this is the moon's energy. This is the energy that's coming in generally. Ace of Swords, 3 of Wands, and Temperance. So we're looking at those as 4 cards. I don't want to show you what's under them at the moment because that's part of the later energy that we're reading. For the moment, it's about this energy in the middle. So, hello again. I'm going to lift them up. The reason I don't want to show you what's underneath, unless you really know the Lenormand cards, is I want you to pick later your card that you want to start a journey from to get your message. Yeah, Grand Tableau. Let's have a go at the Grand Tableau. It's the big picture. So these are the 4 cards that are the issue at the center of what we feel or what we should be feeling about this moon. So it's this idea of moving on. And there's an energy of, I want to say, I'm going to say, there's Wassail, Fibonacci. I said hello to you earlier because someone was talking about the truth, lies, and fibs. And I thought they just spelled your name wrong. So I sang hello to you earlier, Fib. So moving on, but with a sense of excitement. This is a moon to end. It's moon in Cancer. And when you have a moon in Cancer, it is ruled by Cancer, and it's very much about your sacred home. This is an energy on the whole of releasing something very important. Wassail Cheney, of releasing something very. So we have this excited move. There's Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury's in Aquarius, isn't it? See, this is where we all get to play. You all need a little page open. I've done a quick screen grab to check. Mercury is at 9 degrees in Aquarius. Oh, that's another thing, actually. I've got two other things that I need you to all do for me. Let me get a card. Hang on a sec. Now, you all know how much I love a symbol. I've got two symbols on these Lenormand cards that I've had forever. And in all my research, I cannot find these two symbols. So I'm going to show you them. And maybe one of you will find the answer. Be exciting, since I've honestly looked forever. And then the other one. So this is one of the symbols that I cannot locate. It's a little bit like Eris, but Eris is kind of that way. But it's a sun symbol with an arrow. And I'm really not sure. So if anyone knows that symbol, I would love to know, and I can look it up. The other symbol is this one. What the hell is that symbol? So that's the two symbols that we're searching for. It's nice to have homework. So I don't want to tell you what cards are on yet. We'll come back to them. I don't know that it is. I've got a list of all the demons, and it's not on there. Because I read a book a very long time ago about the Seal of Solomon, and I can't find it in that list. So anyway, that's under one of these cards. It's under this one. One of them. The sun's. I can't do it right now, but I'm going to put that down here as a possibility. Thanks, Eve. So we're beginning with this excited movement forwards that's being, I think, really, it's our inner desire for an excitement, for an energy that you can begin to feel. It's like it's just underneath the surface. And quite often there is two energies. There's an energy of sort of manic, everything scattered. And then underneath, if you can just pull yourself below that sort of snowing frequency, there's a much softer energy that flows underneath. So that's what you're meant to be hanging on to, the kind of loving, trusting frequency. And it's that frequency, it's the truth, but it's kind of the energy of this card in terms of the relationship of the Lenormand house is really a frequency of finding something that was lost from childhood, whether that's an energy or whether that's a frequency of you feeling connected to something that you disconnected from. So it's the beginning of a truth. It's almost, It's like the pendulum of truth is just beginning to swing. And there is a really strong energy, which is in an earth epoch, you can tell all the lies and all the bollocks you want to. But in an air epoch, you can't do that. It will catch up with you because it's a sword of justice. It's a sword of truth. And it's beginning to swing ever wider, ever deeper. So we have that. Then in terms of the next card represents social activity, an energy of spaces where we meet, because the card represents the energy of social interaction, the house. And so we have on that a new vision. And there's something interesting about the beginning spark of coming together. So maybe this is the moon that ends the old energy of the last astrological year. I know the astrological year is not over, but in Chinese zodiac, it will be. It's the ending before a new beginning, which takes place on the 1st of February, I think. So a new interacting vision of coming together. Yeah, that's difficult. And it's got harder, Eve, choosing a Lenormand deck. And at some point, I would like to, once we get this sort of, the other decks out there, it's another area I'd like to look into. Right, I'm glad that we're getting more and more on Uranus. This one, I haven't looked at that one so hard, but that, got no idea what it is. But that's fabulous, Jade. The more that we get that one, I've typed that in so many times and I don't get it on a Google search. I don't know why. And then the blockages. The next card represents things that are blockages, things that must end, that energy of the moon, because it's under House Mountain. So this is transforming blockages. So this moon is offering us a chance to transform inner blockages because it's a full moon in Cancer. Oh, thanks. Thanks, AP Dern. So that was the center, the inner workings. Now we next go to the four corners, and the four corners represent cosmically what the music of the spheres, what the cosmos is bringing to us. Yeah, that's exactly it. It has got that energy of Aries with a cross attached, but it's missing that bar there on the cross. And also there is another card for Aries. So I'm not sure. Someone will solve it today, and it's beautiful. The platinum symbol of Uranus, is that this? Because I know Uranus is connected to platinum. And I find that interesting because it's crown consciousness. And I always see that as a soft silvery grey light compared to a gold energy light within the earth once you open the dark black frequencies. Anyway, there's the two symbols that we're working on. Beautiful community. So the outer cards, what do we have as the outer cards? We have Queen of Discs, Seven of Swords, the Sun, and the Eight of Swords. Now, I want to put out a reminder right now to everybody that's working, thanks, Fib, that's working in tarot, that you can't see these swords any longer in the way you used to. Swords have changed. They're now top trumps. They're the ones that carry the most energy. And so for me, if you look at this card, the Queen of Discs is in the position, it's the first card. It's the new frequency coming in. And what's fascinating about this card is she's looking backwards into the past, and she's telling you that everything that was your past should just remain kind of black and white. It's not the color of the future, it's the past. Yes, it holds memories, it holds stories, but it isn't the future. The future is in front of her. And here she's tamed the Capricorn energy of the devil, and she now has the biggest horns. And all of the color, all of the energy of newness, of a full kind of tangible world is ahead, not behind. So with the Seven of Swords, which is Moon in Aquarius, it's got that sense of, oh, that's the next new moon. It's the moon in Aquarius. That is the Chinese New Year. It's got that energy of exiting the past, exiting what was to move forwards. That's the frequency that this Cancer moon is giving us. And this is over the house of coffin. And coffin are the things you no longer need. So we no longer need the energy of the past. We've got to move on from it. And then in the house of union, this bottom corner house ring, this is this energy of the sun, wishes, dreams, wonderful energies. This has got Taurus, and that's telling me this is referring to this moon being a set-up frequency to the solar eclipse that happens on the new moon in Taurus. And that's on 30th of April. And then we have the moon itself, the card house moon, has this. It's bringing an end to the interference, to the trauma frequencies of thoughts. So not only are we heading, as we move through the energies, to exiting the interference, so that we can ring in the sun, ring in the truth, ring in the wishes. It's a beautiful energy. So let's just pop you back down. So that I can explain something. We're down here. You can't quite see it. So we're at the bottom of this edge. I suppose I could do this. For the moment, I'm sorry, I can't read the comments while I have the camera down, but I'll catch up with you. So the moon is in a position of saying to us that we need to do this job alone. This frequency is something alone. And it's with house heart. And house heart is to do with ordinarily a sense of often romance. But in this situation, it's about loving yourself. To move on from the interference that's been current for the last few years, you have to go into your inner truth. And I'm saying this over and over again, of truly, truthfully loving yourself. Your inner truth has to be self-love. That's a transformation that we know we have to make. That's that 4 cards in the middle, and the moon is directing us to this. And then here, which is about dreams. This is the house of dreams. We have the Prince of Wands. And the Prince of Wands is a fiery renewal of personality. So the energy I'm getting is of stepping out of any frequencies where we don't trust ourselves, where we don't love ourselves, where we punish ourselves, where we might victimize ourselves. It's interesting because the house of punishment has the card of love, 2 of Cups on it. So there's some really interesting energy reflections within this grand tableau gift. And then, as I said, the coffin is begging for us to step out from all that was the past, all that interfered, anything that interfered with our ability to love ourselves with an inspirational passion. We have to step right out of that interference. That's the energy that this line up here is giving. It's the moon, the heart, the stars, and the coffin. What are the dreams that will take you forwards? What are the dreams that will fulfill the journey as you move on? Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be. It's not one of the symbols that I found originally for arsenic, but as you search AP Dern, you will find that arsenic and alchemy, there's a lot of confusion around symbols. Yeah, it is a bit like the Japanese yen, but again, it hasn't got anything to do with that, because there is a card that's to do with money that is set in Japan. It's not on that card. In fact, I forget what symbol's on the card. House 2, possessions. But I love the fact that you're all giving me the notions to help us find our way around it. So do you want to see the symbols again? That's the one we believe is Uranus as platinum. And this is the troubled one. I tell you, it's on House Fox. And Fox is to do with quick thinking. It's to do with the energy of cunning. It's energy of survival. So I'm really still not sure. Wassail, Piet Vergunst. Yeah, Pete, I'm going to do the animal signs individually next. I wanted to get through this moon one, and then I'll have a look. It's a water tiger, and water tigers are interesting because they're about, they're very much about the natural world, because tigers are represented by a tree, and water tigers usually about rebuilding. If you're doing a visual search, you might want to screen grab. It's about rebuilding the world around us, water tiger. So it's an interesting year ahead, but I haven't dug into the cards yet. I've just done a few observations, but I will do all 12 Chinese zodiac animals. Wassail, Vicki, Rincon, or Ransom. I have a little sip of water. So we've got a general feeling that this is about self-loving. Now I'm going to read you out Queen of Discs, the list of people that you might want to pick as your starting point for your personal story that will take place within this full moon tomorrow. The moon's at 12 minutes to midnight GMT. So you have to work out the difference there. Yeah, that symbol, there's different forms of acid though, Fib, in alchemy. So it could be one that was a general acid and then has been replaced by specific acids. But keep looking. Because I'd love to solve this one. This is the one that has been annoying me the most. I know, I've done some, I've done reverse search images and I get nothing. There's websites that say that they're sort of like logo and symbol reverse or searches, so that you can create, a logo or a symbol and you don't tread on one that's got some kind of pattern on it. It's not in there either. You're saying it is arsenic. I'm going to write that on there and I'll look later to dig into it. Because I've got a different one for arsenic. Where have we got it? Let's see if we can just quickly find it amongst the 92 alchemy cards that I've got. saying that, and then I'll be like, oh, I haven't got arsenic. I'm sure I have. The thing about it being arsenic is I can't work out why that would be true within the Lenormand deck. Oh, well, now we've gone upside down. Yeah, there are several for arsenic. This is the one I've got for arsenic. It's Swan's transformation. But who knows? There are many, as I said, there's lots of different symbols from the different cultures that have worked on alchemy. So I'm going to read you out a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to read you out 13 characters, and I want you to pick one. Okay, Wassail, the upper room. So, do you want to start as your energy? Are you relating most to the Queen of Discs? Are you relating to the Magician, the Lovers, the Prince of Discs, the Prince of Wands, they're knights, princes, Princess of Cups, Mary the Jewess, the Princess of Swords, the Hierophant, the Hermit, the Empress, the King of Discs, or the Queen of Wands? So, again, Queen of Discs, Magician, Lovers, Prince of Discs, Prince of Wands, Princess of Cups, Mary the Jewess, Princess of Swords, Hierophant or Hierophantrix, Hermit, Empress, King of Discs, or Queen of Wands. And we're going to begin at 48 exactly, with the Queen of Discs. So the Queen of Discs, she's in House Rider. Now, House Rider is, do you know, Eve, I thought I'll put Hermit in because someone who's a Virgo is definitely going to pick it. House Rider is the energy of a new frequency arriving. It's card number 1, and it's linked to Mercury. So there's something I want to say that's like a burning away of something toxic. There's a real energy of the horns. Oh, that's interesting because I've just put this in. Because he's riding a unicorn. He has wings like a kind of on his head rather than that. That's like new thoughts, fresh thoughts. There's the old snake frequency of the past, the old earth energy being transformed by a new frequency riding forwards. And then we have horns here on both the goat and the Queen of Discs herself. So the way we look at these energies, we look in the direction that she's facing. So if I pull the camera down again and show you where she is, she's up here and she's looking this way. She's looking into an as yet uncreated future. So she's not looking along this line towards energy. She's looking at something new. So we look underneath to be the energy frequencies that stabilize her, the energies that give her the current frequency that she's working with. So we begin at the very base of her energy. So here we have this card that I was talking about. If you're dealing with the Queen of Pentacles, it's like there's an unknown There's an unknown energy coming towards you, or as yet unknown. It's still to be created. It's still to be played for. It's still to be rationalized. It's still to be formed, but it's making its energy ring unions, contracts. It's like you have a new contract that's due on the 30th of April. So in many ways, the energy of now with this moon is to just chill out, kick your shoes off, and just go, do you know what? Doesn't matter what's coming in, whatever's coming in will. Oh, I've dropped it. It's gone down a long way. What's coming in is something new, something wonderful, something magical, something that's incredibly empowering in terms of you being in earth frequency. So you're saying you think it's a new element, life springing out of something inanimate and restricted in. Yeah, it's possible. So this union card is fascinating. I always have a bit of a row with people because on this card, people always go that there's a window, but it isn't a window actually, it's a mirror. It's the same magpie, and this is like the clearing of the smoky mirror. This old energy, this black and white, two-dimensional kind of reality behind her, being brought into a new energy with the sun. So it's like the solar eclipse will burn off for anyone, regardless of their astrology, if they're in this Queen of Discs frequency, coming into a totally forward contemplative frequency and seeing their entire past as no longer relevant other than a memory that you can pop into. And often memories can be warnings to do certain things, but this is a really forward-minded air frequency that's shaping up around you. It's interesting because there's a sense of anchoring a new Yggdrasil tree through the window. And there's something with it's a sort of viol rather than a cello. It's some kind of large old instrument. It's like a new melody, the new tune that's coming with the music of the spheres. I love a magpie. They're one of my most favorite birds. Don't see them here. We have hummingbirds. Stork is Aries. So Stork is new beginnings. Stork is talking about the beginning of the astrological year. It's as if this energy, the Three of Cups, this flowing frequency will begin when the sun enters Aries. And throughout that period of the whole of this last 8 days, 9 days of March, all the way through April, is the point at which and this moon is setting you up for that and saying, chill out till it gets to Aries. Don't panic about anything. Let the natural return, roost. Baby in a cup. Baby in a cup is like a cosmic gift of a renewal. Returning to the home. What home? Not the home that you live in, but the home at the seat of your soul. Returning to the seat of your soul. Wassail, Miss Remy. Wassail, Ariel, Solmana. Wassail, DH. About galactic content, I feel the mission is going slowly for liberation. I am pledging. I'll give it a go, but it won't be today, I'm afraid, because this is going to take hours. In fact, I have a friend look at. He's called Dante Starshine, and he does a channel on here. I haven't got the link to it. He channels the Palladian Council, so you could watch him. And he's actually staying just up the coast from me at the moment in Mexico. I don't think I did, but I read it and I was saying something and I was like, oh, we'll do that. So returning, roosting back in your own sacred city. So bringing that sunshine, abundance, clarity during the energy of the new astrological year for you. So just chill it down. So the last one you have, and it's interesting. It's like you will not move. You shall not pass. Because this is what's above your actual card. What's below it is just one energy behind. Slow down. And this is house flowers. So flowers is Jupiter. And we've got Jupiter in Pisces at the moment. And so we're talking about the energy of Jupiter frequency coming into the earth slowly. And it's, I've been saying this a while, the new moon in Aries on the 1st of April, and then the conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune on the 12th are very relevant to this. He's 12. There's something about that for definite. So you're giving a kind of pause, And you need to just wait, as we said at the beginning of your reading, to move into this energy. This new frequency will begin for you. It will start to race in. His chariot will start to move forwards at the beginning of the sun being in Aries. And then at the solar eclipse, you'll get this energy will dash in. So that's the reading for Queen of Discs, if you picked her. So, Magician. Did you pick the Magician? 57, 54. So I'm going to show you the Magician. He's up here. So we're going to be looking for him at this frequency down here to start with. So what is he? What are we concerning ourselves with the Magician? He's in Wassail, Yeti girl. Wassail, Silvana, Svanangula, Wassail, the heart doctor. So the Magician is behind home, house of house. So house of house is about kind of privacy. It's an energy of your home, actual home, as well as your sacred home. It's the energy that's very framed, very contained. And there's a frequency of bursting out of it. So there's a real frequency here of communication. I'm really getting this sense of this energy is the 1st of April, because this is 4, card 4, house placement 4. It's house 4 in astrology, the home. This moon is moon in Cancer, but it's manifesting the 1, the 1st of the 4th. We've got this frequency. Yours is definitely something that renews itself as you enter that energy, as you sense the rebirth of your materializing, but not possessions. So let's go to the, do you know what? I've just said that and it is. I've just looked at the bottom. So the bottom that you have, it's hard to pick these up. We're looking at, this is fish, House Fish. And this is House 2, Possessions. And it's card number 34. It's hard to see. They're so old, you can't see the numbers very well. Well, I can't. And I got nothing wrong with my eyes apart from distance. So fish is about abundance. Fish is about relaxation. Fish is about the material pleasures, but not a kind of material greed. There's this sense of the guy sitting down at the back of his wonderful garden. He's left his little matcha teacup and his pipe down here. You know, he doesn't need these luxuries. His luxury is being in his own energy, and that's what the Four of Cups is in this deck. It's a sense of luxury. So we've got 3, 4, 4. 3, 4, 4. They're telling me something, but it's not unfolding in my head. I think it might come as we go through this. Good night, Sigdom. So we have this notion of, I want to say, a cornucopia flowing, but what I want to say is that somehow the contents of the cornucopia have been transformed. Wassail, Laura Hernandez. They've been transformed. They're not the same. They're not the material possessions. There's something in this card that's got that kind of need for less and pleasure from more pleasure from less is the best way to put it. So a new frequency of, it feels like an emotional cornucopia, but that emotional cornucopia will bring physical materialization somehow. That's interesting. So that's the basis of it. The next up for you, if you've picked this card, is House of Man. This is the spiritual warrior. I'm getting the feeling that this card always represents spiritual warrior, but also eclipse tunnel. There's something coming for you, a guidance in the eclipse tunnel. There's something, I feel like this is to do with a transformation that takes place once Mars has reached Aquarius. There's very much a Sagittarian energy. I feel like we're talking about a wounded healing, an emotional wound being healed in the eclipse tunnel. But I feel like you're definitely going to be receiving some form of guidance in the eclipse tunnel that's to do with an emotional prosperity. And then you have, I can't pick them up. Garden. We've already seen this card as one of the inner truths, but I didn't over sort of emphasize the garden aspect. But the garden card represents pleasure gardens. It represents society. It represents social media. It represents how we connect to other people. And it also represents house 10. So that's the energy of our status in the world. It's a vision that you have to create to drive you forward. I just need to look at this one briefly. There's something that's a change. I want to say there's something missing that is returned. And somehow I want to say that what's missing that's returned is the world, is the pleasure of life, is what's missing. So if you've chosen the Magician, you're manifesting a return to worldly pleasures, an abundance of laughter, emotions, That's the frequency that's coming up. New passions, new desires. So that's that new energy within the cornucopia. There's a transformation of what you really like. Green vitriol. That's interesting. I have to look that one up because I missed out vitriol, because it's a very fascinating word, because you spell out the letters of vitriol and it makes a Latin phrase about going deep within the center of the earth to come back out renewed. But the word vitriol has become a very frightening and ugly word, so I didn't include it in the deck. I am interested. Twitty, Kathy. So moving into a new social aspecting, transformative, I want to say it's a bit like being a new, it's like going back into the world with a new guide, a new emotional guide, working behind the scenes with you. And it will be a male guide, not to be difficult. It's a female card. She might turn out to be a guide. I don't know yet. Till we get there. So you have birds. I feel again that this is breaking down the boundaries, breaking down the social restrictions of home. This is where it is actually talking about this frequency manifesting in the magician. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Pam? It's been really difficult. And obviously, I'm still trying to finish writing all of the words for the Alchemy of Astrology deck so that I can get a PDF out to you so that you can all start looking at it. And then when we all start playing with it, then it will change. Maybe the different forms of arsenic might be necessary, or maybe there's something that might be in a bolt-on deck that we might do as a second Alchemy of Astrology deck at some point. I don't know, if I'm honest. The other thing I want to do is I want to connect all the different animals, and I haven't done that yet. Two, that's that way around. Well, actually, it's like that. It's above. So we're moving on slowly. There's no rush. That seems to be a really important energy in both of the previous readings. There's no rush to get where we're going. We're all in a gentle kind of motion that's moving things forward step by step, brick by brick. We're removing. Birds often represent spirit as well in this deck for me. And so there's something about spirit's got its eye on you, but spirit's not necessarily communicating with you. That new guide that's coming in, Card Man, will be the one that starts the communication. But as I said, I don't think that's going to be until you move into the new moon in Aries. Was it the new moon in Aries? Yeah, 1st of April. So there's some kind of transformative energy coming if you chose magician. So now we're going to go on to the lovers, which is 10904. Wassail Sturm Art, or is it Sturm Art? So I'm glad you're all researching. It's fun to have things to do. So did you pick the lovers? The lovers. Right, the lovers. It's hard to see this one. It's house 5 and it's Virgo frequency. This is tree. Tree is health. Tree is about sustaining a community. Tree's also got the energy of rabbit, luck. It's got the energy of growth. Wassail Aleister. So house 5 is about health. So this is about working with spirit to co-create new health. And that's a beautiful message to be having as we're coming through this pandemic now. Wassail Rita Freida. Oh, that's great. I'm going to have a look at those. Thanks, Rita. The Ludi Tenger's inventory of alchemical symbols. That's the problem. There's so many alchemical symbols that choosing which ones to use. And I still think I might change some of them as we move through the deck and its creation. So this is about, it is really about coming back into full health, physical and mental health. That's the energy that we're working on here. And it's really interesting. As we go through this one now, you'll see how fascinating that lineup becomes. So, Cups, Mary the Jewess, Ace of Swords, and the Lovers. Wassail bin ben vinya. I'm rustling around the world, Ben. I'm just rustling around Mexico, having a little stop in the mango orchard. I want the mangoes to become ripe so that I can be a glutton, a mango glutton. So we're beginning at the base of your frequency with the anchor. If you chose the Lovers, Wassail Gwen Clark. So this is card 35, and this is house 6. This is health. And at the top, we're dealing with health. So and it's Virgo energy. It's a transformation. So an adjustment. This is the Justice card. So really we're doing, mango salsa. Also, I want to make some mango chutney. We're dealing with the notion of unhooking your anchor. You have to bring the anchor into shore, make the adjustments to your health, and then sink the anchor back down. Now, when we think about anchors, we quite often think of a ship putting an anchor overboard and it holding a ship still. It doesn't actually hold it in one place. It holds it and the ship kind of rolls in a circle. So it's about finding a new fulcrum to your health and then sitting with that fulcrum slowly widening as you convalesce, as you recuperate. So, oh, you're too high for mangoes. Yeah, I'm at ground level. I love a papaya though. So there is something about a change of diet, a change of eating habits. There's something about, they're showing me the pelicans choking on the energy of the previous frequency of food. So you've got to almost to make the adjustments to your diet and your biome. And above that one, we have the 9 of Cups in House of Woman. She has a little pig that she tickles. I'm getting a frequency. I mean, she is Venus, but I'm getting the energy of Venus. This is when Venus conjuncts Jupiter. And I've got a funny feeling that Venus conjuncting Jupiter is on the solar eclipse, or it's on the 5th of the 5th. It's one of the 2 days. Could someone look that up for me, please, while I go on reading? I'll try and keep an eye out. But Venus is going to go in conjunction with Pisces at 28 degrees. And it's either on the 30th of April, or it might be on the 5th of May, or the 16th of May. I'm just not quite sure in my head, but there's something relevant about this because we're looking at Venus and we're looking at Jupiter in Pisces. So this energy coming together, this adjustment, this wishing for new health takes place when they meet in conjunction. Someone will come up with that in a moment. Now, above that, because this is the point, that's why we need the date. This is telling us the adjustment point. Because, yeah, you notice eating habits are changing. Yeah, mine are. I'm eating a lot less. Yeah, Venus conjunct Jupiter in Pisces at 28 degrees. It's either the 30th of April or it's the 5th of 28 degrees, yeah. Well, I think it is. Sometimes I'm not sure how I pull these things out. Thanks, Kathy. So the blockage, House Mountain is Capricorn. And this is an energy, it's House 21, which is a pathway around something. And you can see that the mountains here, there's rays of light building, and you have this pathway past the blockage, because the blockage is totally and utterly being transformed by Mary the Jewess frequency. It's a renewal. It's a complete alchemical transformation that's coming, but it's an alchemical transformation of your body health, your mental health, very much mental health, I'm being told, and your biome. Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's a lot of food habits changing, but what I would say is trust your gut. I would say don't necessarily look at any of these eating plans that you might want to be on as the total solution. There's so much misinformation out about diets. There's so much pressure to do certain things. And I think rather than stating that you are following a particular regime, you just need to decide what you fancy. Wassail, Sheila. Hello, Sheila. Yes, that's exactly it. Intuitive eating. You need to go. It's no good going, I'm going to be a vegetarian, and then your body's going, I need some iron in that meat, or whatever it is. You just need to be true to your gut instincts. And slowly that will change your balances and your diet will keep changing. But don't suddenly cut a load of stuff out and say, I'm doing this forever, because you're kind of setting yourself up for a fall. Yeah, there's no one size fits all. There never really is. There really isn't. We've all got different bodies, different DNA, different biomes, and they all behave differently. So there's something about, there is like, this is like a stomach blockage, and it is moving forwards. I'm not going to give anybody, there was a part of me that was, I'm reading your things, and I'm like, yeah, sometimes I just like to eat a single food group. Because that's less pressure on my belly. You know, some days, not often, I eat all kinds of different foods. I love cooking. But some days I am just like, I just fancy a bowl of rice today for whatever reason, or for that meal. I don't want anything complicated with it. Sometimes I just want the simplicity thing. You know, it's just what I fancy at the moment. Sometimes I just want to eat bread with olive oil, and that's all I want, and that's suitable for that moment. But I don't think about it, because then the next day I might have some kind of really complicated vegetable soup with loads of herbs in. I just try to eat what I fancy. So yeah, stomach blockage transformation. We're still waiting on a date, but Twitty will be back with the date soon. We're looking for Venus conjunct Jupiter at 28 degrees. It's April or May, but no one's got me that information yet. Wassail, Debbie M. So next is house child. And that's this energy of this swing in the garden. This has got a frequency also of miniature things. And that's why we're talking about biome. I feel like this is the transformation of the gut, the tiny things, the microbiomes. And it's all done in tiny truths, becoming more aware, listening to gut instinct. That's part of this frequency. There's something about a playfulness as well, because it's house 5 child. There's something about a kind of, it's like a mood lift. It's like, again, it's that energy of truth swinging ever bigger. The more you become true to your gut instincts in terms of what you're eating, the closer you become to transforming your personal Yggdrasil tree. That's what we're getting for the lovers. April the 30th and May the 1st. Way! I thought it was the 30th, so it's the solar eclipse. It's the solar eclipse. That's when you can bust free. I feel like on that solar eclipse, that's going to be your journey. If you pick the lovers, that's going to be the point at which any preparations you've done to that point on your diet, changing your diet, that will be the epiphany point when you will see this frequency down here. And this is why we were asking about this. We've got Venus conjunct Jupiter in Pisces. Really important energy. In fact, where's Pisces? Yeah, there's another energy that's leading across. I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to read it because we won't have time. But down here, so you've got Venus and Jupiter, the energy of spiritual warrior, this energy of coming into a kind of energy of being absolutely in the real world, shining from within your gut, your sacral, unblocking, that's the Empress frequency, and that energy of the solar eclipse. It's just down here. Okay, so that's yours if you went for that one. Now we're going Prince of Discs. And that's at 1, 2, 3, 30. So Prince of Discs. Did you pick Prince of Discs? So Prince of Discs. He's coming underneath House Flowers. As we said before, this is Jupiter frequency. This feels like this is a journey of now. This energy is working right now. I have to put him down. I'm reading all these upside down, which is making it a little bit complicated. You just have to give me a moment to look. Okay, this is a slightly bumpier ride. So it's linked to this journey of the Queen of Discs. But the Queen of Discs, if you pick the Queen of Discs, yours is that you can rest because you've kind of already done the work. If you've picked the Prince of Discs, you've work yet to do in this period. And that work is about bringing you towards the fluidity of abundance. He looks down. And looking down, he's looking down at these two. And these two, as a quartet, are talking about the energy of returning yourself to your sacred home, returning yourself to an understanding of, like, I want to say, breaking up a ring fence that you've placed around you, breaking up a contract that you've agreed to. It's an unfinished deal at the moment. And what we have as well in this card is we have, I'll just show you down here, this energy of moving into the world that's in this card, this globe that has yet to fill up, gives us this diagonal path, because diagonals matter, but they're a sort of longer term energy frequency from the energy you're now in and looking towards. So at the moment, this is like the path of the entire sort of year. So you're on a slower journey path, but there's nothing wrong with that. We're all on different pathways. There are many pathways, and we have to find our own way through them. So what do we have here? This is the card of dog and loyalty, and it has the tower with it. So what we're looking at here, I'm just checking what dog's house 11 dreams. There's something about, I feel like your dreams, unrealistic dreams that you have, need to be brought down, need to be broken down. I even sense moving home in the coming year, a change of residence within this. It's almost like there's like an energy of a kind of, there's a sort of prophetic fog that's sitting over you, and that's Neptune. That's interesting. Where is Neptune? It's got the Empress and it's got the Pisces frequency below. And I feel like they're blocked to you at the moment. So I also feel with this energy that you're not connecting with the people in your home in the way that you should. So that's why your journey is slightly longer, to bring yourself towards you. You haven't begun to recognize, there's something about, there's a worry, like you keep picking over. I'm seeing like, you know, like all the little tiny scraps of gristle on a bone, and how a dog worries a bone. There's something about you can pick any P. Monroe. Don't worry about it for now. You know, I'll read out the other ones just briefly so that you can think about it. After the Prince of Discs, I'm doing Prince of Wands, Princess of Cups, Mary the Jewess, Princess of Swords, Hierophant, Hermit, Empress, King of Discs, and Queen of Wands. They all have different messages. They're all about different journeys that this moon is bringing us towards what we're moving through in 2022. So there's something about picking over the gristle, worrying a bone, repeating the same energies, and you're trying to upgrade yourself. Because above, it's really interesting. This is a very material, physical world energy. Above the prince is the queen. You're not there yet. You're not there because you're being directed downwards. It's almost like that energy is not part of the equation, whereas he was part of hers. Your energy is heading towards the Knight of Discs, which is the king in this deck. And this is about finding an energy of sacral truth. Yeah, I know. It's a really long lineup. There's 13 of them. But I'm not doing them for too long. We'll get there. I got water. So here we have letter. Letter is about a piece of news coming in, something that's like, oh, Neptune fog, a blind spot being renewed, a blind spot being shown, a blind spot being, that's what this energy is in the crystal ball at the dog's feet. So there's an energy of a future you can't see because you're dreaming the wrong dreams. And this is bringing in a new energy. I guess it can be held this way. Bringing that energy to you as an upgraded frequency. Now, this is house 3. This is family news. This is something. there's a possibility of some kind of inheritance, some kind of energy of something. I mean, this possibility of moving home, bringing a renewed money somehow, or banking situation. There's something in this energy that's bringing something new, but it's somehow you've got to rework the frequencies within family members. But it's a piece of news you can't imagine, and there's something about signing the dotted line that comes in, and it actually ends with more money. This a sort of an abundance of actual cash, really. So it's just interesting that it begins as something that's got to strip something away within the home, and we were like, oh, I'm not comfortable with that. But actually, that journey through from this moon is bringing some kind of wonderful frequency, because fish, as we said earlier, it's house 2, it's possessions, it's about being content. This is that new home. This is that home with a new outlook, a new view. No, but that's the point. It's not about dreaming of money. That's not the point. There's a dream that you're having if you've picked this sign that is blocking your flow of money, because there's something tired and jaded and ignored and foggy within the current home situation. That's what it's to do with. It could just be loving your home, your nest, too strongly. Yes, yes. Loving your nest too strongly, and it's stopping the opportunity for baby in a cup to come along. So when you decide that you can actually, you're not going to decide. The universe is going to bring in energy that changes the idea of the value that you place on your own home, so that you can move forwards into a new frequency to bring you to a new home. That's what I'm getting. So, did you pick the Prince of Wands? 133, 26. So, Prince of Wands. Where's the Prince of Wands? Where's the Prince of Wands? Oh, he's over here. So, let's show you the Prince of Wands. Did you pick the Prince of Wands? He's up here. So, the Prince of Wands. I have to just have a quick close look at this. Okay, I feel like he's working in this area because of his positioning. So let's begin. I have to keep my glass on, I can't see what you're writing. So Prince of Wands is over House of Stars. House Stars is dreams and wishes. This is Aquarius. Star, it's the star. It's a healing energy, but it is about dreams. It's about looking into, it's about renewing your dreams of a future for yourself, transforming. This is all about dreaming, this energy. I also want to say it's linking in to a spiritual pathway, because in Lenormand, I need to show you it down here. Hang on. I just pop them back in, even though I can't get them out. In Lenormand, when you end a reading, these two cards here, cross and stars, the star-crossed. What are you star-crossed with? What's the energy of your spiritual endeavor? So this is very much a reading. This energy, if you've picked this one, is to do with a kind of fated energy, a star crossing. And cross is about marking an end to something that's been totally illuminated, picked over, put in a coffin, buried under the ground, and then marked with a memorial, a kind of spiritual, it's like a sacred earth walk. I feel like it's an energy of understanding the emotional satiety, the 10 of Cups, this energy of your life returning post some kind of personal grief. And that doesn't have to be a death in amongst people. It could just mean that some new understanding of something that's been hurting you is finally put to rest, and you see the advantage of it. It's interesting if you look at these two, this vigorous, powerful energy coming out, fire and water coming really forwards in frequency. And this is, I have to take my glasses off to try and see it. I'm sure it's Mars in Pisces. The period at which Mars enters Pisces might be relevant because Mars, I feel an energy of a softening of frustration in your dreams, because Mars will have gone through the stellium tear in Aquarius and will have transformed his mission. You will transform your mission. So what are you beginning with underneath your journey? The interference of the moon. There's an emotional blockage to your dreams currently. And that's the position that this moon now is bringing towards you, if you've picked the Prince of Wands, is to move past the emotional blockages, to almost connect more directly with the moon. And it is moon in Cancer on the card. I need to support it. Actually, I need the cold water. So it's like the energy of air, this energy of the renewed, the stellium tear is air. It's very much because you're crowned with moon in Aquarius. And that's your coffin. That's, but they're golden, beautiful memories. They're all the most splendid, wonderful things in life that have taken place for you, but they don't serve your dreams forwards for the future. Wassail, Kelly Rose, also Wassail, Ambrosive. I did see you, I was saying talking. Wassail, blessed by the best. So there is a real energy of, you will feel, I think you're going to have a lot more dreams. You're going to have a lot more energy frequency of a transformation of what you understand as your dreams, while Mars is in Aquarius, and then that transformation will make sense. Your Wheel of Fortune will return when you crank Mars into Pisces. I've got a funny feeling for some reason that Mars, that's been moving rather slowly, gets really zippy speedy soon. And I think Mars has some kind of conjunction with both Pluto and Venus. No. Yeah. There's something to do with that. So, House Heart. This is This flaming heart frequency of House Heart is House 7. It's about partnerships, but it's about, it feels very much like a dream. You're more like a lover's reading. You're not dreaming this, you're dreaming loneliness. You're dreaming the wrong frequency. You're in a tree. And I read the other day, and there's a Leonard Cohen song. I just paused while I waited for the connection to make it. Went a bit weak here. There's a Leonard Cohen song that's about everything's cracked, but that's how the light gets in. That's this energy that I'm really getting here. There's like an energy of a frequency within you transforming somehow. It's like an inner power is returning to you. So, oh look, I'm loving that little line of glimmering light at the back over there. That's that crack, and the light's coming in. So you've got Bear, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune. And I have to just check. Bear's really hard to read because it's so worn out. Bear is House 1. No, it can't be. That was, oh yeah, that's right. It's House 1. There's something about the magic of this is like a hibernation, a period of the wheel being stuck, not turning. We've got monkey rising. That's the frequency I'm getting from this. A kind of impishness returning. Mother Bear frequency, power. This is about, there's very much a kind of sort of, I want to say like a stock market of dreams. That's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. I'm being shown like a lineup of dreams, like there's some kind of chart, and somehow the relevance of the dreams that you're going to start to develop of being less alone are going to become a higher dream energy of dream importance. So it's definitely moving up. Yeah, I'm sure that that's exactly what it is, because that light there is really doing some lovely little play now that it's arrived on the scene. And at some point, I'll have to put lights on in here because it will get a bit dark. So I'm really getting this energy of, there's like a riddle. There's an energy of, I feel like you see frequently that doesn't make sense. And that's being knocked off. It's going to be pushed off the chart. It's going to, the last part of your reading for this is you have the Five of Wands. It's like this, I'm being shown this energy of, because it's a very similar frequency, the staff that he has in this card has a little sort of bird head on there, and that same bird head is here and here, and there's this energy of gift, union, coming into partnership to make some kind of newness that takes flight, some kind of new staff-like power that comes. So is really bringing something wonderful new. And it's interesting because I feel like it's dreaming the reflection. This is an energy of a mirror soul, and I wouldn't have understood that under the card of Fox. Fox is cunning. Fox is thinking on your feet, but it's showing me this energy on this card with that symbol. And if it is arsenic, it is that energy of something which transforms you. It's a swan transformation. So there's something about meeting an energy astrally at first before it gets brought into the real world. So that's yours. Now, Princess of Cups is at 146, 147. That's easier. So Princess of Cups, where is she? She's down here. So did you pick Princess of Cups? Did you pick Princess of Cups? Now, I need to just have a look at her. Right, she's bringing us this energy and kind of an energy of this and an energy of this. So let's just see what gives. Let's see how it grows. Where is she and what is she on? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that's wrong, but I would, for me, I would say that Lily is that card for me in Lenormand. Lily's about owning your sexuality, but I'm not saying it's wrong. It's, you know, there is the word foxy and there is vixen. So this is House Tower. And this is Saturn, and Saturn is currently in Aquarius. So this is about restrictions, isolation, self-imposed thought processes. Is a little bit Eight of Wands. It's a tower, but it's not the tower like we think of a tower. Although there is an energy of it being a tower because it's got this next to it. And the energy of this princess, she's looking diagonally down, but there's an energy from the fish that brings a frequency that rotates something under. There's two energies coming off her, converging. Let me see if I can work out where they're converging to. 1 second. That's going down there, and that's... It kind of feels like it's not so much converging, but it's adjusting to being unblocked. A new chapter beginning. I'll show you it as we get there. So well, it can be that in Lenormand. It really can. So I'm just going to quickly, just because we're through here, I'm just going to give you all... There's the Lenormand houses on my website. I feel like you need to notice the Princess in the Tower, the Princess of Cups, becoming a new emotional language, transforming something that was restricted. There's a very much an energy of Ops, which is Saturn's consort. I want to say the 17th. I don't know of which month. The 17th. The 17th. I mean, there could be an energy of something culminating on the 4th or 17th of April. Or the 17th of March. Now, that's interesting. That would be the culmination. But there's something about the period for you between the 17th of March and the 17th of April. There's something that takes place. The tower that's coming for you, to free you. That's what you need to think about with this tower. It's about being freed. It's about being taken out of isolation. This is very much a frequency of lockdown, and then a bigger picture emerging as a turtle. Turtles are very much connected to moon frequency because the on the back they have the around the shell there are 13 pieces, and then there are 28, and they represent the 13 moon cycles vaguely, roughly in a year. So that's just an interesting observation that there's a very strong energy of moons. It's the 17th now for this moon. So you're really getting this connection to this being the setup period for how the moons will affect how this moon will affect the period between the 17th of March to the 17th of April. So your next energy is, it's a spiritual pathway, and it's again picking up, you see, it's picking up the energy of the eclipse. The eclipse's energy is important to you. But this means something different here. That's really interesting. I feel like there's I feel like you're hoarding. You're hoarding in your home, in your mind, you're hoarding. It doesn't feel material. You're ferreting things away. It's feeling like a series of tiny little frustrations that are not being voiced properly. Tiny frustrations, and you're anchored to them. You're locked in a tower, the drawbridge is pulled up, and you're anchored to a series of spiritual frustrations, I think, would be the energy I'm getting, and you've got to adjust them. That's this energy of anchoring, that pulling up your anchor to make an adjustment. It's like this is mental health issues. It's very much a mentally enclosed ivory tower that you've got to work on. This is definitely, I feel like this is that energy that we talk about with spiritual cul-de-sacs. So we're really dealing with Wassail, Eliza, Beth. It feels like you're trying to weigh up these, as I said, these kind of hoarded, fixed thoughts that are becoming very troubled for you. So I'm going to look at the swing back, which has got the energy of salmon, new knowledge that's coming in. So it's got this tower energy coming down to the tower energy coming down to the sun, this total solar eclipse. So you've got the energy of the eclipse tunnel coming in. I feel like you're under the influence at the moment of the previous lunar eclipse that was on the 19th. Oh, hang on, there was a 19. 19 is the tower. Right, you've been imprisoned by Algo. This is card 19, house 19. The Algo lunar eclipse that took place at 26, 27 degrees of Taurus has made you lose your marbles a little bit. Giving you a strain on your mental health that's going to be sort of resonating until this eclipse tunnel, when it will transform. And what's it transforming to? It's unblocking. It's coming into this energy of the Empress. The new chapter will begin. Again, it's got a very much a frequency of Aries, but Aries, the transformation Aries to Pisces. So that's in that period between the 17th of March to the 17th of April. So around the 21st, okay, vernal equinox. Vernal equinox is when you will get that shaft of light, that energy that will begin to bring you out of that trauma. Everything will flow again. Your place in the earth, that movement from emotional, they're showing me the ferret again, the hoarding, emotionally hoarding is causing a mental strain. And at the moment, it's almost like being emotionally blinded, mentally blinded, and you literally can't see forward. So there's something about, if you pick the Princess of Cups, there's something about an energy of being locked out. They're telling me to take the cards above her. What crowns your energy? So you have here the House of Broom or Whip. And this is about, it's a bit Eight of Swords. It's about, what is it you use regularly to punish yourself? What's the emotion? What's the thought that you whip yourself with over and over again? And you can forget it and something rises and it comes straight back to the beginning of your mind and it just, you whip yourself. That's what's transforming. It's going to transform into a frequency. It's adjusting into an understanding of love. Okay, it's going to flow differently, and it's going to take you. You have here ship, which is a deep emotional journey. This is to go to the bottom of the ocean. This is that energy where you are anchored, and the anchor allows the ship to just kind of rotate around and around, and you have to lift up the anchor, move the ship, put the anchor back down, and then start to actually build a new frequency around you. But the other thing, it's Five of Pentacles, being shut out of life. And that's where you began. You're too shut out with life. I'm getting a lot of very Leo frequencies. You might need to look at what Leo you might have in your chart. But this is shut out, shut out. It's like these two cards almost need to, not those two, sorry. These two need to switch. So what was the painful worries that were shutting you out have to be the joy of the emotional traveling. It's like a fear of going out into the world. You've lost an ability to engage in the beauty of the world, and it will return. So that's yours. Let's pop those back in. So did you pick was by dear written it to? Did you pick Mary the Jewess? My cards are getting a little bit shabby in all the spacing. How is everyone? Wassail, goddess of the garden. Antimony. I've got another series of antimony, symbol for antimony, but I can believe you because all of the alchemy symbols are very fluid because alchemy was about secrets, and I think different alchemists had different secrets. Maybe we'll get the answer now, but we're moving on to Mary the Jewess because she is the goddess alchemist. You know, she's the first ever fully functional alchemist. Oh, I've got one of the cards. I've got two of the cards with the Lenormand showing. So let's have a little look. So here she be. Now, the energy frequency that I'm getting from her is this with this, because she's got her big cup, the 9 of Cups becoming that pauldron of magic of alchemy. She's got that energy of the transformation that takes place between the red bird, the white lion. That should be the other way around. And then she's got an energy coming up this way. So we'll look at what we're getting from these frequencies. I feel like we need to begin. The energy is coming up. So I want to say as well, though, there is an energy above her of these cards that were in the other reading, but they're not as important. They're merely talking about creative truths, understanding the alchemy of everything. That's just a general frequency that she has being Mary the Jewess. It's an alchemy and it's a knowledge, and she has that knowledge. What's she working with? So we're kind of looking at the first two areas directly above her that she's working on is 5 of Wands, which is Fox, and then 6 of Swords, which is birds. Birds represent excitement, breaking free of actually they're coming across as that real thing of being watched by spirit. There's a spirit magic and there's a reflection. This has got something to do with somehow shifting time to create something new. It's harder for me to read to you because they're putting that directly in my head. So oh no, there are timestamps. I've got the timestamps, Sheila. I won't write them down. It'll take me too long to type them. At the moment, Queen of Discs is 48 minutes. The Magician was 57:54. The Lovers is 1 hour 09:04. Prince of Discs is 1 hour 23:30. Prince of Wands, 1 hour 33:26. Princess of Cups, 1 hour 47, no minutes. And Mary the Jewess is 2 hours 00:00. Okay? So there's an energy of, I said time, but it's coming across as an out of time dimensional shift, because the other two cards you've got above it are these two, being locked out and a toxic energy. No, sorry, I'm not doing personals today. Well, they are personals in many ways. You just have to pick the right person to get your personal. There's 13 of them. So we're going to look at this in a second, because that's one you've not seen yet. This is Snake. This is that energy of ship. Ship is a deep dive. Ship contains in it going to the bottom of the ocean, traveling in the emotional energy. It's house 9. It's very much got a frequency of Jupiter. So again, it's like your focus with Jupiter during this Jupiter in Pisces season. And look, Jupiter in Pisces is the energy that's sitting below you. It is your cauldron, the cauldron of alchemical wishes. Again, we're on that energy of Venus. So that's, I've forgotten already, the solar eclipse, 30th of April. So there's some kind of dimension hopping, transformative alchemical magic. Wassail Erica, Wassail say Asame. Yeah, it is a bit like the octopus. It's also the whale in the Kim Cran's deck, because there's a whale at the bottom of the ship, but about a big transformative shift for you. This is alchemy. This is wishes. This has got an energy of a transfiguration, a redemption. It's really interesting. So the other you have is snake. Now, snake, to me, represents a new energetic cosmic opportunity. It's like a golden egg. In the original majority of Lenormand cards, snake was always the house of like evil, gossipy women. And I've never been comfortable with any of those frequencies, because they're of a time, and most of the people she was reading for were wealthy, men at these parties, and they would have liked to have been told that, their latest woman that's a gold digging bitch was, gonna drop them like a snake. So it's just I've tuned a lot into this energy, and it is, to me, it's about the energy of this, really, the sun and the moon, that energy of it's in Fox, isn't it? The energy of the platinum consciousness frequency of the crown chakra being transformed. It's that energy for me. But this is about bringing it into the material world, bringing a new energy. And it's melting. It has to melt. This feels like a toxic blockage, but not internally. It's like a toxic layer. I'm being shown like pea soup, and that, again, because of pea soup being an old British word for a fog, is coming across as Neptunian. And Neptune's almost in this conjunction. On the 30th, I think that the conjunction between Venus and Jupiter is at 28 degrees. Neptune's at about 24 degrees. So it's only a 4-degree orb distance away from it being a kind of a magical transformation frequency. And we've got sun and the moon again. It's definitely, this is 30th of April territory. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, you can, I forget to say, but you can send me tips if you can afford to. It doesn't matter how small. Even if you only send a couple of pennies or cent or whatever is your currency, it really doesn't matter. It's all a form of abundance monetarily, to get tiny gifts as much as big gifts. It's not an insult to send me 10 cents. It's participating in a frequency of appreciation for us as a community, because all of the small amounts add up to bigger amounts, and they help me to make this channel mean that everybody can join in together and share things and learn from each other. So this toxic, it's like an old toxic, I've got an unstable connection. Just waiting for the connection. Just waiting for the connection. Just waiting for the connection. Let's move my phone. Maybe it's getting in the way. I'm unstable, apparently. It's not coming back. I just have to keep going and hope that you can see me. I'm standing completely still, so it looks wrong. Okay, I'm going to carry on. So even though it says that, we'll just carry on. They've increased the speed of the internet here to help me, which is so lovely of them. to birthing something new that will break this energy of, I kind of feel like you've been diving down the wrong rabbit hole, is what I'm hearing. The transformative energy is the wrong rabbit hole, the wrong thought process. So let's go to the energies of the 3 cards that sit below Mary the Jewess. This spiritual warrior. Oh, this is interesting because you've got man and woman. This is about coming into yourself, restoring. It's like your energy is out of balance. And I wasn't going to pick this card up, but now that I've said it, it's the one at the very base, adjusting the balance, re-anchoring yourself, because the other card you've got next to man and woman and that's a 9-9. So that's a 9 of wands. You've got to shoot your wish. You've got to shoot for this dimensional portal that comes on the 30th of April. You need a plan, Stan. So you've got, that's a really interesting combination. Death, 1330. And they're showing me the 1 being turned into a 0. There's something like a binary choice, 2 pathways, this alchemical transformation that is your blockage, because Mary the Jewess is the transformation of a blockage, of something that you can't see past, something you can't move past. It's putting it into your cauldron. 9 of this energy of the wish card, Jupiter in Pisces, is the frequency of the transformation. I feel like the transformation becomes complete 3 days before the end of the eclipse tunnel, because yours is very much about eclipse tunnel energy. So we're looking at the 13th of May. So Lily is a moon card, but Lily is about a phase of sexual reawakening, a sensual reawakening. Is there some kind of energy there's some kind of energy about an abstinence or a debauchery. There's something about this portal transformation that's got something to do with lust. Lust being transformed into a new kind of love. And it's a blossoming of you and your sensuality. It's an adjustment to a different frequency. But it is a time dimensional portal. It's definitely in the eclipse tunnel around the 13th of May. There must be something that you can look up and find some kind of transit that matches your chart. But the 13th of May is very important if you picked Mary the Jewess. Because Mary the Jewess is 14. The death card is 13. So this transformation is the most natural thing to blossom, but you've got to put something into your emotional cauldron. Wassail Astronees. Yeah, there is a card under here somewhere that is pathways. Yeah, I haven't got there yet. Oh, it's next. It's next. Did you pick the Princess of Swords? So we're on 21606. So 21606 is Ninlil. Princess of Swords. So the frequency of the Princess of Swords, her energy in herself is pulling back the dimensions that we've just had. So this is a little bit like the earlier difference between the Queen of Discs and the King of Discs. She's done the cauldron work already. So she's in a different space. She's working on a different frequency. She sees the two paths. And there they are, the crossroads, water dragon. Oh, there's something really weird. This is a Libran energy. This is another one of those energies where I look at it and I think, why on earth are you Libra? I just need to pop the lights on because it's getting a bit gloomy. So, oh, I can't do that one because I'm going to have to plug that in somewhere else. There we go. I'm going to put my glasses. You see, this is like an energy of breakup rather than makeup. That's really interesting. So Ninlil's bringing something together to release something. An emotional transformation. So I have to look at her and see what directions she's giving me as a flow. Right, she's manifesting a truth. I need to show you so that you can understand in case you picked this. So here is Ninlil. She holds the sword that she's swinging down. Sword manifesting that direction. She's also looking down here, but she's based on an energy of transformation, which is this here. So with a different series of directions on Ninlil's cards. So there's definitely an energy of a breakup. Okay. Or a breakdown of a relationship. That doesn't have to mean lovers. It can just be partnerships, working teams. Someone could have lost their job and no longer be able to work with you. But there's a loss of someone that you consider a partner in some form. So the basis underneath the energy, and we always look underneath frequencies first, it's a karmic moment of moving on, a loss, something that is inevitable, that is a kind of destiny point that needs marking so that you can re-enter the tree of life. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure what you're saying here, Laura, but I'm sure that everyone here will help you out while I carry on, but I'll have a look later. I'll leave it with you guys. So we have the 10, but we also have the 9. This feels like this is the completion, the basis at which the cosmos is offering you the 10th cup. The missing part in your wishes is being placed in the energy around you if you picked Ninlil. And you have this transformative death, transfiguration energy, but there's something about that. I feel like that's already completed. That's this sensuality has already risen within you if you're an Enlil, and that's the fuel that's bringing in your new transformation, your new energy of truth, this small transformative lost energy. It's bringing in a frequency to you. You're manifesting something around an issue of privacy, something that you've kept hidden that you can't hide anymore, something about the way you live your life that's, I almost am getting a feeling of not, I'm getting a feeling that you're not living a truth, but you're understanding that now. You're transforming to a truth because it's brought you your inability to, I kind of want to say, stand in the truth on behalf of this person that you're going to lose an energy frequency with. And it could be someone at work who you could have stood up for or something. There's an energy of missing an opportunity, but somehow it doesn't feel like that opportunity has cost you, it's cost another, and that's hurt you, and that's what you're trying. I'm not saying it was recently. I feel like this could be a long time ago, and you've never forgiven yourself for it, but you have moved into your new truth, and you understand now why something took place. Because you're moving through an energy, again, that wish frequency, 30th of April's paying a lot of attention, but it's the solar eclipse, but it's more to do with this conjunction of Venus and Neptune, bringing you a new understanding of that missing 10th cup, that 9th, the one that you're waiting to receive, is somehow within you, but it's within an internal, it's like it's in the back of your mind. It's like it's something seated within your third eye, or there's something you're not seeing, because this is the energy of a sort of an abundant reunion, in the sense of this, the way it's being read in this direction now. Moving on, this is showing itself as a 3 of cups, a reunion in the 4th cup. Oh, I think I can hear an earthquake. Oh, I can. Well, hear it. I can hear it and feel it. It's long. It's not very big. It's gone. That was longer. It's weird. I mean, I've never experienced earthquakes before, but here, since I've been here, I've felt a few. Someone could look it up and see if there's one near Chiapas. It could be Guatemala. It felt quite distant, or it could be out in the sea. But so that's 5:33. I'm just going to write that down because I need to look it up later. 17:33. There was definitely an earthquake. If there isn't, there's one coming. They're weird. They are weird. But what's really fascinating about them is you feel them. When I go downstairs and say to them, "Did you just feel the earthquake?" They always say, "No." You do feel them upstairs more than you do downstairs. So there's a missing cup. The cup's here, and it's like an energy. I feel like somebody you lost is returning. That's the energy I'm getting. Someone that I feel like you were never able to Chiapas earthquake alert now. Hooray! Yeah, I just felt that. I usually look on Volcano Live because they're quite quick and they ask you to fill in things. In the Maddalena Tequistinian area. I don't know the area. But I could feel that. I could hear it as well. It's really, that's the other thing that's very strange. When an earthquake happens, the frequency of the earthquake kind of walks towards you through the earth, but the energy through the air comes like when you see lightning and you hear the sound later. With this, you feel it and then, or you sense it, and then it walks towards you. You may have lost me because there was an earthquake. Yeah, the volcanic action under the sea is interesting because I had the visions of that in sort of March last year. I kept seeing underground earthquakes going off. It was just before we had the Iceland volcano go off. But I will be honest and say that the one I saw was in the Indian Ocean, not Tonga. But, you know. So, anyway, back to the cup. The missing cup is being brought to you, not just in the 9 of cups becoming the 10, also in a 3 of cups becoming a 4. There's a reunion, and I want to say, look, it's a very Piscean frequency, Neptune in Pisces. It's the fish. It's something. There's something very joyful about this energy. Someone is coming back who you lost, a work colleague or a lover or something, but it's not, even if they're a lover, they're not coming back to be your lover again, or they're not coming back to work with you again. They're just coming back because it's the right time for the energy with them to transform. I'm just being drawn to this down here. So at the base of the clouds, the death transformation frequency at the back of Ninlil is the energy of the 12. Waiting. The waiting is over, and now it's time to move into this frequency of the sun. It's a really nourishing energy, but it's been blocked. On this energy, this relationship, this non-speaking, that's what's coming for you with this moon. It's a renewal of an old friendship that got lost in some way. Kinship. I'm not saying, you know, it's some ex coming back and you're going to fall in love with them. That's not it. It's about actually being able to move on from something where you've never had closure, because I feel that somewhere within you, you felt you should have stood up for them, but maybe you should, but really you shouldn't, because they've learned their own lesson going through this. And if you were to say to them, I'm really sorry I didn't do this, this, and this, they will actually say to you, do you know what? It doesn't matter. It's my journey. So that's nice. That's a real nice renewal of something from the past. So did you pick the Hierophant? 2, 30, 30, 30. Oh, I might as well put 40 now. 2, 30, 40. So Hierophant. So let's just look down. Thanks, Sheila, unless that wasn't me you were talking to. So Hierophant is here. Now, the Hierophant energy quite often has this, the diagonals. I'm really picking up this. is really important. I'm really picking up this one's important. This one's not as important, nor this one. So what are we getting? I'm being drawn to this. I'm being drawn to a mirror energy. And then this. So it's basically, I'm being shown this. And this leaning in. So yeah, I think Hierophant energy is morphing. I keep calling it Hierophantrix because I think it's about being in a different sense of balanced frequency that's more than the Hierophant. The Hierophant has got a kind of Saturnian restriction, and it isn't that energy. It's about an ops, Saturn's consort, or the flip side of his frequency, which is a much more giving, loving, growing, more of a series, crop growing sort of frequency. I often think of the Hierophant as the divine masculine. It's an epiphany. So, oh, interesting. That's really interesting. It's coming with mice. So I feel like this is based in worry. This energy is about, if you've picked this one, you're someone that's very extremely over anxious. It's like everything gnaws away at you and you allow it to gnaw away at you. Yeah, Hierophantrix, Kathy. I did a really nice reading all about the Hierophantrix, because the Hierophant in the Muse Tarot is very much a female, and she's wearing the same glasses under her hood as the Page of something. The one with the Page of Swords, who's putting the glasses on to see better. And that was the reading I did just before San gave me promotion. So it's like one of the last readings I did before I went from 400 to 4,000 in about a week. It was a very weird moment. Anyway, anxiety, fear of losing things, fear of having things stolen. And I don't just mean physical things. I mean like ideas or energies, or you're bleeding. This is a bit of a leche kind of frequency. You're meant to be coming into this spiritual moment, but you're not there. It's the promise that this moon is offering you, but you're not there. And the most important thing, like we're going to read next, is the hand that's pointing down like that to the card diagonally below, which is the moon, the interference. But the interference is you. It's your worries and your anxiety, because below, which is a kind of, they're showing me it as a sort of a millstone round your neck frequency, is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, your inability to see the wisdom in life, to see the wisdom in your situation, the things that gnaw away at you, the mice energy, the energy of being overrun by everything. Oh wow, you found the Thoth deck. It's this hanging, waiting for the light, because you've got the sun and the moon here in your reading. It's interfering with like all the energies that move you, all the energies that should be flowing with you, and not doing this. They're not giving you that. They're not giving you that clarity. They're not giving you that epiphany. I feel like it's because I'm being given the Hermit, and the Hermit is House of Love. It feels like it gnaws away at all of your truthful emotions. It's like you're, I want to say I'm being given the Pied Piper of Hamelin as an image. And if you don't know the Pied Piper of Hamelin, the story is that there was a village and they were overrun by mice and they were eating everything and they were running out of food and they were eating crops and they needed some kind of assistance. And the guy comes in and offers to charm them all away with his magic whistle. And he does that and he agrees that they will pay him some money. And when they're gone, they don't pay him the money. And so he charms all the children and they move. And he takes them into a mountain and they all vanish. But I just said, what? Wassail, Jaylene. I'll catch up in a minute. I'm not sure what I mentioned, but I'm happy to do anything. Okay, you're a slow typer or a slow Tyler. So it's ignoring all of your emotions. So what I'm getting is the Pied Piper. The reason it told me about the Pied Piper was the Pied Piper wears a kind of Joseph coat of many colors, a kind of very colorful frequency. And I feel like you've been wearing the wrong clothes somehow. You're not in your truth somehow. You're dancing the wrong tune. So I just got to go back and look at what was, mice. It's this mice frequency. There's something about migration in this. There's something about origins. There's if you look up the Pied Piper of Hamelin story, the modern history believes that the actual story is based on the migration of a whole group of children during some kind of famine to other parts of northern. They left Germany and went to places like Russia because there's links to the medieval names. So there's some kind of, I want to say, an ancestral energy, and that's what's gnawing away at you. It's not your truth. It's gnawing away at your emotions. So the card above is dreams, Prince of Wands, stars. And again, because you've got this coming into your free, you've also got the other spiritual card, because there's two cards that link together as spiritual, which is the star and the cross, to be star-crossed. This is a destiny point. What's going to be difficult is me finding, I don't know which, I need to look at what the destiny is. There's something, I'm missing a mirror or I'm missing an observation in the telescope. So it's a bit, just give me a moment to see if I can work it out. It's hard because I'm looking at all these spreads upside down so that I can show them to you. But so Ah, I've got it. It's down at key. It's the card of key. He carries the key. So I just needed to work out what direction, what energy was I not seeing. I was not seeing house key because I said this isn't an energy you're in at the moment. You need the key to stop the gnawing. So key is 33. So here is house key, breaking free. It's the sun, and that's interesting because the sun comes out from within, and that's so beautiful. It's not just the hermit energy that's an ancestral truth not allowing you to see your own sun, but you've also got the waiting blocking the sun, that static motion. Here, when you break free of the egg, which I said was here on the cosmic egg, is here on the hermit. When you can break into this epiphanal moment and let go of all those anxieties that don't belong to you, you come into your new dragon frequency. And that's with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is about holding back the raw masculine, the ancestral angers, the ancestral worries, those things. You can't make this divine frequency until your Queen of Wands frequency can hold back. And there's something about the ancestral lies, cheats. They're showing me it as cheetah, jaguar as cheetah, as that energy of something that's running past you, threatening you, but isn't part of you. And when you realize that and just hold it back, that's when this will come. The anxieties will be released. Wassail Penelope, wassail Lloyd, wassail Gemby Wolfstar. So that's that one. Hermit. Did you pick Hermit? 2 hours 43:50. Did you pick the Hermit? So Hermit is down here. So if I look at Hermit, Hermit's got this energy of coming up. Hang on a minute. I get this. I get this energy of, so this coming up, rising up and coming down here somehow. So it feels like it's a huge curved energy in Hermit. So let's go with it anyway. So if you picked Hermit, this is what it's all about. So Hermit's card heart, card love, card 7, card partnerships, 9, 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm being drawn to pears, the fruit, succulents, the softness. So this is being emotionally bruised. You're bruised too easily emotionally. That's where your journey starts. Okay, so it's almost like you bruise so quickly someone can switch off your internal light. Your inner flame flickers. You don't have you don't have the emotional wisdom to deal with what you perceive as crushing you. Okay? It's interesting. There's a reference to Adam and Eve, but there's also these pairs. And that's that energy of knowledge, wisdom, not having the full wisdom. Like I always say, Odin got off the tree too quick. So the energy where you begin is cross. I feel like your tree of life, your inner truth, I feel like you buried your inner truth. You've hidden yourself. You're not being honest to the world around you. Yeah, I love a pair. I really do. But they have to be really right, perfect pairs. And a lot of them are not very nice anymore. So you've buried your inner truth. So this moon is about ending. It's really weird. It's like dig it up. Dig it up. This frequency, it's not usually the energy I see with this. It's about marking something, but this is about digging something back up. What have I got? I just need to look at what I'm dealing with. Oh, that's where it is. I see. Okay. So you're going to dig up your lost truth, your lost life energy. You're hanging on a dead Yggdrasil tree, like a wooden gallows, hang through. It's that energy of, I almost want to say you've been, it's like Odin went down to Mimir's well, and he said, I'll give you my eye for this wisdom. And he got on the tree. Odin didn't stay very long, but this feels like you've been there so long, that the well's no longer got any water in it. It's become dried. You haven't found within it the truth that you required. And you're still hanging there, but the sun's just dried everything out. And now all there is, it's almost like the entire forest has grown up around you. There's not even any light in this space anymore. This is really something that needs to be bust open. And then it's rising up into Wheel of Fortune and Bear. So it's like know thyself. That's what I'm hearing. Why do you not know yourself? Why are you a mystery to yourself is what I'm hearing. It's like, why are you a riddle? Why is your mind a riddle? Why is your heart a riddle? Why are you not? It's almost like you don't go by the right name. It's almost like, you know, when we sort of talk about the energy of light being two-faced, this is about being three-headed, and there's something Gorgon about it. There's something Medusa about it. Am I getting that from somewhere that I've missed? 24/9, no. 12/31. Again, you've blocked out your ego somehow. Have you? Is there some kind of it's Cerberus. It's like your inner truth's guarded by gorgons, and you can't even look at yourself, because if you look yourself in the eye, you'll turn to stone. There's something about like feeling like you've had an ego death and you buried your ego, but actually you buried the wrong bits. No, don't go back to the beginning, Penelope. Just if one of these characters that comes up feels like you want to follow it. Otherwise, there's a series, there's 13 of them in total. Otherwise, you can just go back later and pick one. I'll put their names in the timestamps later. So there's an ego death, but there's an ego rebirth. Ego death. I don't really like all that sort of terms. What I mean is, you've locked a whole part of you away and it's got lost. And it's time for it to tick forwards, but it's not as simple as just waking up. You've had a spiritual awakening. This is, there is an inner truth. It's just not your inner truth. It's someone else's. You're shining your energy and it's not yours. You buried your bit, that bit of light that was relevant to you. You buried the wrong bit of you. Yeah, I love the fact that Dark Eve will have the most Dark Eve. So yeah, there's something about seeking nectar, seeking ambrosia, water meadow, the something fields, Elysian fields. And this is interesting because the next part that's to do with your mentality is linking in to Neptune. Oh, is Neptune on there as well? I was going to say Neptune because of the fog. Yeah, the Elysian fields. The Elysian fields are actually a very beautiful part of the underworld, Hades. This is Neptune. This is cloud. And this has got a dragon, an air dragon. I want to say there's two things it's doing: sucking up whatever's bothersome, but also I feel like really it's about discharging the toxic darkness that's blocking the light. This is about clearing the fog. Now, to me, the fog clears on the 12th. The 12th. One of them had a 12, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Man. It's on the 12th of April that the fog will begin to clear. It's about re-establishing. It's got your sun comes back out in Virgo. That's interesting. Virgo sun comes back out, as in the Hermit. If you pick this one, it's your energy mutating, refinding, digging up the old bits of your ego that you thought were pointless. They are meant to be part of you. You buried them and you weren't meant to. So this is returning to the tree of life. And that was the spiritual thing at the very beginning that was buried, was the truth of your tree of life. You're being given the key to unlock what you shut away. And then it moves to the final card in the Hermit one, which is the truth, your truth, crowning yourself with your truth. Oh, this is... There's something about a switch from a pear to a strawberry. It's like, oh, when you said it was a fruit you're allergic to, and it was your mum's favorite. That's that notion. You're not eating. I don't mean eating in terms of the reading we did earlier. you're not supping on the sweetness of your, you're not supping on the sweetness of your spiritual truth somehow. Because the strawberry is a fruit that needs protecting from the earth. But the point is it's above earth and it's laid on a bed of straw to keep it safe as it grows, to stop it bruising. And that's where we began, with the bruising of your heart. And a strawberry is like a little heart. Your heart will stop being bruised. Okay, so that's that one. Your truth will return. So now we've just got 3 to go. So we've got the Empress next. The Empress is at 2:57:24. So the Empress. I have to move down, come forwards. The Empress is here. The Empress, it feels like the energy of the sun is behind her, because in Lenormand, often the direction, because it's done with these signifying cards of the man and the woman. So the Empress's frequency, she's got this, she's shielded from this energy. So that's also not relevant. This energy of the raw, the need to hold back the raw masculine. This is Empress, emotional feminine birthing energy. And she's looking in this direction. He's looking in this direction. He's looking in this direction. So there's some kind of transformation coming. I just need to look at this one a minute. There's something that's not right about that frequency. Oh, I see. It goes there. So it's coming along and it's coming up here. So, Empress. Takes a while. You see, I didn't know how to do these readings. I know how to do them in Lenormand, but when I sat on the beach and learned how to do these with the tarot over the houses, it became something a bit different. So, just going to quickly give you, that's the article on the houses, the Lenormand houses that are underneath each of the cards. And then this one is the article on the Grand Tableau, so you can learn how to read it. You don't have to do it with Lenormand. You can do it like I am, using tarot cards over the top of the houses. Again, a little bit dark in here. We'll get to the end. I'm sure you can just about see me. So, the Empress begins over the House of Book. Book is Aries. I feel like we're dealing very much with, book is Pisces and Aries. There's something, though, about this that's got a frequency of Gemini as well. So it's difficult. We are, last time I had to move back, but I can't do that today. So I'm just going to have to read quicker to get through this bit where the light's getting a bit poor. There's a new chapter beginning. You're in the process of opening, writing a new book, a new, there's something about this that feels like a pre-incarnation contract. Because there's something about a zodiac frequency of everything coming in. I've got this union of birds. Why is there a union of birds? I'm getting a real massive energy of Gemini. In every form, I'm getting two birds down here on the shield in a kind of loving formation. I've got here the energy of Gemini skipping merrily at the base of this. And that's covering house ring union, which is to do with marriage. There's a fertility frequency. There's something of meeting a man. There's news. There's a letter. There's something new coming in. This feels like an energy of there's something loving in this frequency. But the pathway's not clear. The pathway's got some kind of, it's almost like, I feel like an energy of news coming in. Somebody new, someone, look, this guy's a real kind of spiritual hero. This is like the energy of someone that's just alive with energy from their sacral as much as the Empress is. There's something very divinely matched about this. But it's not about a sense of passion. And there's something self-sabotaging about the journey forward. This doesn't flow in the way it could or should because of something that you seem to do. So this, and look, we've got man, spiritual warrior. This is like a double energy of spiritual warrior coming in. So, and there's something about the twins again. Is this person a twin? They could even be an identity, but there's something definitely, they match you, but they match another. That's really odd. And then it's moving into that moment. Jupiter conjunct Venus is all about a moment of pure, loving, wonderful energy, real beauty to it. But there's something that's wonky about it as well, because they're father and daughter. There's got to be like an age difference or something. It's not philandering. It's not that. It's whatever's happening here is you. It's whoever is this Empress frequency. I'm getting that energy again of what I call my Jane Austen frequency when it comes to lovers. It's that frequency of not allowing love to blossom, but creating a series of fences to jump, of difficulties to override. Yeah, it's not father and daughter either. It's to do with, that's talking about Aphrodite births herself, not Aphrodite, Athena births herself from within Zeus, fully formed. There's something about bursting forth, is what I'm getting. There's something of there's something of being, of having like a greed. But no, I don't mean a greed for love. What do I mean? That it's like having it's like having no, yeah, it is a sense of pride and prejudice. It's that kind of frequency. But what I mean about it is it's like, it's like, look, there's the wish card, and this is all in these pinks, and there's this energy of waiting for the 10th cup, which is just below the transformative card, below death. But your 10th cup is a pig, not a cup. There's something that's not right about it. There's something about it not flowing because your mind is putting the wrong expectation. And this feels like a beautiful energy. And I'm wondering whether there's something I'm missing. There's an energy of the ending of this, because the next part of it is this. It's a transformative, sexual, sensual energy. This is someone that's meant to be. But what I can't find is the solution. And I don't know why. I can't find the solution. I'm not being shown the energetic pathway from the Empress. There's some, it jumps. It's got an energy, this stick, going upwards. But the two cards coming up there, they're not necessarily. They're saying it's, you know, there's an energy of them being the divine masculine and it being the person of your dreams. That kind of frequency. But that's not, it's not the right solution. Why am I not seeing a solution? Nothing on here is the solution. What does that mean? I feel like the only way forwards is to go into this notion that your higher wisdom or your knowledge of what you require, and yet they're bringing it, but there's self-sabotage, because that's what it ends with, emotional self-sabotage. But it's not offering me a solution within this tableau. Why? I'm not going to do this on anything else, but I need to know. What is the solution then? Why is that like an open-ended thing? Is it just a repeat pattern that it's a continuous self-sabotaging? Look, you couldn't ask for a more beautiful card to appear as a solution, love. But there's something, they're drawing me back to the sun at the beginning. Is there something to do with that twin frequency? Is it being confused? I don't mean that you are going to meet identical twins, but it could be something like that. And you meet a twin, then you meet the other twin, and then you think that the other twin's more than one twin or something. There's something about being confused by the issue of love, and you need to trust the love that came originally. You need to trust in what came to you. No, not twin flame. Absolutely, please remove the comment. It's nothing to do with the twin flame, because that would be toxic. This is not a twin flame energy. This is two people, not you and another, but they, whether they're in some kind of relationship. I know you know. There's something about, there's an energy of, it's like there's a third person in this relationship. And I feel like that's what you need to accept, that it's not about a kind of single ownership. I think that's what causes the problem. You have to get your head round. It could be that this person might have, you know, like a sibling that needs caring for, or an elderly parent, maybe. I don't know what it is, but they come as a unit, and that's not part of your dream. and yet they are the dream solution. That's the only way I can say it. There's a third party that's not like a menage a trois. It's not that at all. But it's an energy frequency of them coming with some kind of what you see as baggage, but it isn't. Anyway, that's that one. So now, did you pick the King of Discs? Actually, I feel like, let's just have a look. Yeah, okay, King of Discs. So 3 hours, 12. King of Discs. So King of Discs, I know it's getting dark, but we'll just get to the end. There's only one more after this one, Queen of Wands. So King of Discs is house letter. This is about something, new information coming to you. Okay, new information coming to you. And it's something it feels like something that I wanted to say that you've expected. Just give me a moment to just look. I'm just looking at the energy flows. This is quite complicated. I feel like this has got something to do with... I'm going to begin with the bottom part and see how it moves. I love you too, Penelope. This news that comes in doesn't feel favorable. This news that comes in feels like something that humbles you. There's something about being, I want to say, overinflated somehow. And then it's rolling with the humbling process. There's something about humbling the angers, humbling it is anger, humbling, bringing some kind of news. It's going to make you angry, but it's to humble your anger. It's like something coming in to knock the wind out of your sails, to make you change the feeling. Okay, and it's eclipse tunnel again, and it's referring to, this is very physical world riches. I think that the energy I'm getting here is a kind of Four of Pentacles frequency of hanging on to all that you have, and it's causing, it's like a tower moment. So there's some kind of, I'm getting that energy of holding on to money for dear life, or not necessarily money, but maybe luxurious goods or things. It's almost like you could say, there's a really stupid eye cream that I remember seeing years ago where it has gold in it. And the idea is that you put the gold in your crow's feet and then the light shines and you don't see. It's a load of bollocks, but it's something that people will willingly spend money on. Like there's a series in a newspaper I read that's called Beauty Hacks. It's this kind of energy. It's that there are cheaper alternatives to do things, but the beauty hack thing always tells you that while it kind of half works, you're better off spending, you know, 60 quid or $100 on some face cream. It's like these are luxuries, things that you hold dear, and there's something about it being the energy of glamour. Okay, I'm not saying to you don't be, you know, don't have the things you want to make yourself feel or look good within yourself, but there is a point in the energy where a glamour, originally the word glamour is when a witch uses a shift of perception to appear more beautiful. Okay, so there's something about the energy of losing deceptions. Maybe that's what it is. The news coming in is something that will disturb you about something that you use as some kind of cloak. So underneath your helmet of thoughts, yeah, I know, it's a really great word, glamour. I feel like this is the tower moment that this is bringing is really slow as it comes in, but it kind of rocks. It's coming across as Vesta fire. Like it's like there's something to do with the fountain of youth. Like you're about to find out that some kind of fountain of youth that you have is not true or is poisoning you. It's a little bit like sometimes we read things like some beauty products. I think some things that are often used on people's hair contain like lye, L-Y-E, which is deeply toxic, but the beauty industry has. I feel like this is an energy of learning something that's poisoning you somehow. That's weird energy. Yeah, it could be parabens. Oh, okay. See, look, Penelope's doing this as a subject in her project. There is this energy of toxic glamour, and I don't just mean like when people have, you know, surgery to do things. I mean, it's about an unnecessary energy. Above, we've got this fountain of youth is self-punishing. You're punishing yourself with the fountain of youth. And this is linked to the moon, and this is a moon reading. This is, I'm seeing crescent moons. Oh, now I'm getting a really strong ringing in my ear. I'm getting an A, which is the moon in my ear. There's some new, I feel maybe this is like, maybe it's Penelope doing it. This is like some kind of energy coming, like an article or information, something about some kind of toxicity within something which is seen as a luxury item that you use all the time in a form of glamour without meaning it to be that. I need to work out where it ends. Again, I'm not seeing a final card. I'm going to have to go to the deck again. Maybe it's because we've exhausted the deck, this Grand Tableau. But I'm not getting... Right, so I'm getting this energy of new thoughts. Because we've got the King of... well, he's a knight, but he's the king in this deck. The King of Swords, and we've got the Eight of Wands. And we very much got that sort of Mercury, Sagittarius. There's something about pulling out a wound. There's something about detoxifying. It's like a need to take swift action, fast thinking. I mean, it could even be... there are so many dodgy things in products that we're not aware of. What are the forever chemicals? Are they parabens? There's something I'm being shown like Lady Macbeth washing out, damn spot out, I say, like this energy that I said of self-flagellation, the thing that you use to pain yourself. There's something about... It is something to do with like things getting through skin. Yeah, forever chemicals are the flame retardants, but forever chemicals are also in the things that we use to sanitize our hands at the moment. They're full of forever chemicals. And yeah, non-stick frying pans, and they get in your gut. I've been using... I have a special one that doesn't contain any. And if I have to use a spray to go in a shop, I just take it out and use the one that I have with me. Because I don't want all that stuff on my skin. But that's the energy that I'm getting with this. It's about... they're saying helicopter head. It's like turn your thoughts around. That yeah, this is definitely about that. This is about... have a look at... if you've picked this card, have a look at these luxury beauty items. Not very good for you. Yes, in your body. I know, it's quite horrifying. So let's move on to the last one because all the light. So 3 hours 24:40. Actually, I'm going to do 42 because that's nice to end. So this is the Queen of Wands. So let's just dive in. If you can still see, she's down here. The Queen of Wands. Her wand is pointing up in this direction, but it doesn't feel like it goes very far. You see, I'm being given a different way of seeing these. I'm looking at these as matching visuals. That's interesting. Okay, I'll go with it. Yeah, you can often wonder why your third eye is blocked. There's a lot to do with the pineal gland as well, because that's being filled with toxicity. It's very much that card. Toxic oceans melting. I'm sorry, it's getting really grainy now. So let's do this one quick. Where do we begin? We begin at the key. The key, you're at a crisis, at a crucial moment of unlocking something in your life with this full moon. Letting go of something, breaking free of some kind of, I want to say, anger issues. This is about getting a grip on anger. Getting a grip on anger. Oh, and it's coming out with, oh, anger again, man, Mars energy, getting a grip on Mars energy. So the tunnel, this is interesting because Eris, it's got something to do with Eris. You got to connect with Eris. It's like she is Eris and she's holding down the Mars anger. This is sort of the key to calm is transforming earthbound rage into divine sacred rage, because you can control sacred rage. It's got a greater capacity to be something else. It's transformative. It takes away the mountain blockage. It gives you the pathway round the frequency. There's something I'm picking up though here of Pluto. I feel like this is an up and down journey because I'm being drawn to this. I'm being drawn to this frequency again, the transformation of sensuality. It's almost like you can't feel sensual if you've got the wrong rage. And there's a lot of the wrong rage. So the symbols that we're going to, that I've been called to pick up and show you, it's interesting. I don't know which order, but it's to do with the frequency of, it feels like it's that, because then they're in order. Feels like this. Oh, hang on. So you've got Tower, Truth, Sun, and Knight, Prince of Wands, Fire. It's all this radiant, this is crown energy. This has got a connection to, is there a 14 somewhere? This has got a connection to Gaia, Uranus, and it's got a connection to the new moon that creates the solar eclipse. I think it's at about 10 degrees, and then I think Uranus is at 14. It's got something to do with transforming of sacral, no, sorry, of crown energy. This is very much like an energy of downloading, uploading, frequencying through the crown, because the light is breaking out as a halo effect. You've got that eye of doing the same frequency here, and it's not coming across as an evil eye. It's coming across as like a veil, the moon's veil being lifted off, and you seeing a toxic anger in its reality, and it's burning the sacral home. It's I want to say that the dog feels like a loyal friend, but that it's actually masquerading as a dog when it's truly toxic anger. This is an anger issue that needs to be calmed by the head. This crowning truth that's in that energy. I feel like this is an anger that you've had. It feels like something that's sibling, if you have them, or something from very long ago in childhood. Yeah, we are being invited to look at a lot of toxicity. So there's an energy of a new truth being driven through. And then Prince of Wands is under dreams, is under stars, is under seeking, I was going to say a new passion, but it is you've first of all got to seek to understand your sacred rage, this Eris frequency. Eris is in Aries, 26 degrees. So we're in that area with these energies. We're setting up, this moon is clearly setting up this coming Aries season in so many ways. So the dreams, the passions need to be refocused. They're out of focus. You've got to change the lens, the eye, how you see rage, how you see frustration, how you see anger. It's got to become something that's it's got to become this. It's got to become the Queen of Wands. And that's Eris controlling. It's like she throws you a golden apple to challenge you on the subject of anger. It's being challenged on anger. And coming into, you know, the ring is about which of you is the true you, the earth rage or the sacred rage? Or is it the you that can balance the two in calm? The other thing that's interesting, there's a shorter journey within this card because, when we do Lenormand, these become the next 3 months. So your next 3 months is relevant because you begin with the Queen of Swords card. So your next 3 months is about moving from key to House of Fish. And this is about quality and not quantity. It's about, you want quality passions, you want quality emotions, because they're of more value to you than all the petty angers that just keep triggering you, bringing up an energy that's not serving you well. And you're being asked to adjust, to anchor, to re-anchor, to move forwards, to make adjustments, to get those frequencies into balance, and to bury, to mark that balance and achieve true emotional fluidity by accepting what is the right rage and how do you balance and control it. So this is an energy of rage. How funny that it should come from the Queen of Wands, because she's past it. She doesn't have that rage anymore. It's controlled. And that's what your journey is through this frequency towards the eclipse from this moon in Cancer, because it is about reassessing our inner emotions. So we got there. I think I did, oh yeah, I did 13. So thanks for your patience, beautiful, beautiful people. I'm just picking up all the cards, and then as soon as it's finished, I'll type up the timestamps for the different characters. Yeah, I do want to at some point try and help teach you how to do this, but I thought what we might do is maybe we'll use the Grand Tableau for the animal readings, because then I can do, because I've more or less identified ways of finding each of the Chinese animal signs in the cards. So they do kind of represent, there's a couple that are a bit vague, but if I decide to make them that, we can just do it that way. But it would be nice to have the Chinese zodiac signs again just for a moment. So just before I go, I'm just going to straighten these and just remind you of the Lenormand cards and where we began. Do you know what? I have to say, Penelope, I love being a student of me as well, because Spirit makes me learn new things all the time. You weren't here at the beginning, but I've been told I've got to learn and work out a way of reading a Celtic cross backwards so that I actually talk about where you were in your last life. I've just put one of them in here. There we go. I put ship away. I haven't done it yet. It could also be that you don't have to just pick one of these. You know, always, if you feel a message is resonating with you, like, Wassail, Miss Mary Berry. I didn't notice you in earlier. Sorry. Yesterday, there's a woman in Britain. She's called Mary Berry, and I like to make her Bakewell tarts now and then. And I had a go at making them here yesterday, but when I went to type in her name, I wrote your name instead. I wrote Mary Berry instead of Mary. So here's just a little reminder of. They're a beautiful card. They're great to use as clarifiers. They also, because they're the same size as this Thoth deck, they're great to put inside the deck and do readings that have the energy of Lenormand and the lovely Thoth. So I'm just popping them all back. I'm tidying my table up. Yeah, she's very famous. She used to be on the Great British Bake Off. It's not bloody freezing here, Penelope, I'll tell you. It's just summer all year round. So thank you very much. I'm going to go and look up these symbols of arsenic and Uranus as platinum. So thanks for attending, people, and I shall be with you soon. I'm still working on the alchemy deck, trying to get all the words on it. That's what I've been doing for the last few days. So I'll keep going at that. So if you don't hear from me, I'm just busy doing so that I can get them out so we can share them. It looks like the symbol of, okay, I shall write that down and give it a look, because I'm not finding it easily. I've been looking for two of them for a while now. So, beautiful people, I'm in the dark, you're in the light with the messages, and I shall see you all very soon.